Hello everybody. Welcome to Candlekeep's Hearth Tavern. I am Anya of Rogatino. And yes, I am one of Red Sonja's sisters. On behalf of RPGmodsFan, I will be narrating most of this video, and giving you a walkthrough and DM's guide of the Book of Inner Alchemy Adventure. So, sit back, grab a flagon of mead, or ale, or wine, or coffee, and relax. The Book of Inner Alchemy is the 13th adventure in the Candlekeep Mysteries anthology book, which was published in January of 2021. This 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons adventure was written by Daniel Kwan. His adventure is meant for 12th level player characters. According to the 36th issue of Dragon Plus Virtual Magazine, Mr. Kwan was fond of watching martial arts movies with his father. He wanted the Book of Inner Alchemy Adventure to emulate the feel of a classic kung fu movie. The adventure starts with the adventurers in Candlekeep. They may come across the Book of Inner Alchemy while researching one of the following topics: the nature of ki, and its uses in healing and hand-to-hand combat. Legends pertaining to immortality. The way of the open hand, or some other monastic tradition. The crafting of magic weapons.
Hello, my name is Alront. I am the former keeper of tomes. Some time ago, the task of governing Candlekeep has been turned over to the Archmage Janusi. Anyway, my assistant, RPGmodsFan, will now be discussing the adventure itself, and this video will contain spoilers. Unless you are a dungeon master who will be running this adventure for their players, or are a player who already played through this adventure and are watching this video for nostalgia purposes, I would suggest not to watch the rest of this video.
I am paging through the adventure and asking myself, where the hell is the summary? Like most other adventures in the Candlekeep Mysteries book, this one does not have a summary. I like me a summary. Okay, I guess I have to come up with one, myself. The adventure's synopsis would be as follows. Pages are missing from the Book of Inner Alchemy. The pages were stolen by the monks of the Immortal Lotus. Candlekeep's avowed hire the adventurers to find the missing pages and bring them back. I would summarize the adventure as follows. From inside of Candlekeep, monks of the Immortal Lotus Order rip and steal pages out of the Book of Inner Alchemy. In order to get away with the stolen pages, the monks killed a few of Candlekeep's librarians on their way out. The stolen pages contain instructions on crafting the gloves of soul catching. The Immortal Lotus monks believe these gloves grant the wearer immortality. However, the crafting of these gloves require the sacrifice of 3 humanoids. For 8,000 gold pieces, Candlekeep's avowed hire the adventurers to recover the missing pages. The Immortal Lotus Order has a temple located in the Cloakwood Forest. On their journey, the adventurers encounter monks disposing of bodies to black puddings that reside within the hollow of a petrified tree. Next, the adventurers find the monks' temple, and not only confront the order, but also confront their legendary leader, Bak Mei. Basically, the adventure is about finding and beating up some evil monks, in order to retrieve stolen pages from a book. I will now go through the adventure's timeline of events. A long time ago, the Wren brothers write the Book of Inner Alchemy. All 3 brothers were masters of the open-hand monastic tradition, which is centered on the defensive and healing uses of ki and martial arts combat. Not only is the book a martial arts manual, but also details key techniques in martial arts and healing, as well as the creation of magic items and weapons. Rumors of this ancient tome, containing martial arts techniques for achieving everlasting life, began circulating among the martial orders. The book, eventually, was brought to Candlekeep, where it has remained in obscurity until recently. One night ago, radical monks from the Immortal Lotus monastic order stumble across the book while visiting Candlekeep. They rip out pages pertaining to crafting the gloves of soul catching from the book, and then escape Candlekeep, killing several librarians on their way out. The monks of the Immortal Lotus have a temple hidden in the Cloakwood Forest, which lies north of Candlekeep. The temple also lies near the coastway, where the monks often ambush and steal from travelers heading south to Candlekeep. When the player characters ask for the Book of Inner Alchemy, Candlekeep's Avowed will bring the book to them. They will, then, tell the characters what happened last night. The Avowed want the missing pages back, and offer 8,000 gold pieces to the adventurers to recover them. Upon accepting the quest, the player characters are brought to Candlekeep's inner library, which is known as the Great Library, to the section where the crime took place. The characters then investigate the scene of the crime. They find clues that the Immortal Lotus Order were the culprits. The Avowed know that the Immortal Lotus monks have a hidden temple in Cloakwood. The player characters then journey to and through Cloakwood, and then they come across a gruesome scene. 2 Immortal Lotus monks are disposing of 4 humanoid bodies to 2 black puddings that live in the hollow of a petrified tree. 2 of the bodies are human, who were Immortal Lotus monks, who were killed in training exercises. The other 2 were gnomes, who were caught stealing from the temple's gardens. If the adventurers slay the black puddings and the monks, 5 dryads will appear and thank the party. And finally, the adventurers reach the hidden temple and confront the monks within, including their leader, BAUWZ. The player characters find the stolen pages, and, I assume, they then bring them back to Candlekeep. I will now be going into a little bit more detail on the adventure's main villains. BAUWZ is the legendary leader of the Order of the Immortal Lotus. He was once an agile and skilled show monk, who was famous for upholding justice and helping the needy, in his distant homeland, far to the east of Faerun. As he grew older, and learned more about the world, he began to feel the weight of old age, and his worldview changed dramatically. Motivated by his growing fear of death, BAUWZ became obsessed with finding immortality. His heretical actions got him excommunicated from his homeland. He and his small group of followers eventually settled in Cloakwood. Since then, his followers have been ambushing travelers heading to Candlekeep and stealing their books. Steel Crane and Jade Tigress are BAUWZ's apprentices, and both are second in command of the Immortal Lotus Order. They are the ones who stole the pages from the Book of Inner Alchemy. I will now walk through the Adventure's 1 map. The map is probably easier to decipher with the areas labeled, as they are now. Life at the temple is highly regimented. The day-to-day activities of the Order involve patrolling the perimeter, hunting in the forest, groundskeeping, training, and practicing the teachings of BAUWZ. When the adventurers arrive, Steel Crane and 4 monks will be at location marked L1 on the map. If the alarm has not been raised, there will be 4 monks tending to the gardens, at location marked L2F. A dwarf, named Karbek, is being held captive at the temple's Hall of Knowledge building. Karbek is at the point of death, and has 1 hit point and 5 levels of exhaustion. If the alarm has not been raised, Jade Tigress and 4 monks will be at the temple's training grounds. The Jagged Sanctum is a study, meditation hall, and residence for BAUWZ, where he and 4 monk guards can be encountered. At the center of the chamber is an artificial pool, filled with water and covered with floating lilies. The stolen pages from the Book of Inner Alchemy can be found on an altar east of the pool. And so concludes the Book of Inner Alchemy adventure. If your players are fond of martial arts movies, then they will probably like this adventure. The one flaw of the adventure is that monks are mainly melee fighters and are vulnerable to ranged attacks and spells. Yes, I know they are equipped with darts and have the deflect missile ability. Yet, this adventure will be easy for 12th level characters if they exploit this weakness in monks. If you have any ideas on how to make this adventure even better, please share them in the comments below. Thank you for watching, from all of us at the RPGmodsFan channel. Hope this video has been informative and entertaining. Please subscribe, like, share, and comment. We do like feedback. Till next time, we wish you well. Cheers, have a good day, and goodbye.
somewhere and dyed my hair. Now wanna be alone. It's much to bear and you don't care, and I won't play alone. I got you in my sight. I keep all the words you said to me. I get you, get you, get you, get you on your knees. Rewrite all the things you said that I should be. I'll get you, get you, get you. Now you'll beg me please. Hey, now I stay away. You were never meant to save me. Now I stay away. I wanna hear you say you're sorry. Hate I even loved you. Hate I fell in love with you. Hate I even loved you. Hate I kinda fell in love with you. Hate I even loved you. Hate I fell in love with you. Hate I even loved you. Hate I kinda fell in love with you. With you, I cried with you. Now wanna be alone. I lied for you, I tried for you. You wouldn't play alone. I got you in my sight. I keep all the words you said to me. I get you, get you, get you, get you on your knees. Rewrite all the things you said that I should be. I'll get you, get you, get you. Now you'll beg me please. Hey, now I stay away. You were never meant to save me. Now I stay away. I wanna hear you say you're sorry.